Happy Mother's Day. This is especially for the homeschool moms who have chosen to join their kids on a personal growth journey as they're homeschooling. I am Teresa. I'm a certified life coach, a graduated homeschool mom that works and serves the homeschool moms in this community to help them shed what's not working so they can show up authentically, confidently, and purposefully in their homeschools and in their lives. And today, I want you to know that I know how much doing things like this, dressing your kids up to join in a fun family photo in the Klondike days, this is a lot of fun. I know you don't do this every day, but I know how much it is just to keep your kids dressed and clean and keep the home clean and actually provide them an amazing education, a meaningful life, and a happy home. I know how much work that is, but it's amazing. And I want to honor you on this Mother's Day 2025. So something that I'm going to do is put together a gift, a real snail mail kind of gift for one homeschool mom. This is coming from me, and it's also coming from a couple of the ladies in the Confident Homeschool Mom Collective. So I will share all the details on all the different gifts that will be sent to you. But this giveaway applies for the next few days. I'll let you know exactly when it ends, just in time for Mother's Day tomorrow. My hope is that if you can share or tag 3 different people with this video and then tell me what it is you've been growing in over the last year. What have you been learning about your kids, about yourself, or about education or learning itself? I'd love to hear. And so here's what I'm going to put into this giveaway this year. My book, a copy of my book, Homeschool Mama Self-Care, Nurturing the Nurturer. I'm going to give you an Julie Bogart's book, A Gracious Space, because this is my 3rd copy. I have 3 of these, and I love them. And then I'm going to offer you my DeSchool action plan. So this is something that came out with the DeSchool Breakthrough Workshop this last week. So I'm going to give you one of these. And I'm also going to give you self-care guide or my wellness guide for homeschool moms. And because I know so many of you are entering that phase right there, because I chit chat with you, and typically, not always, but oftentimes the moms that I work with are somewhere between the age of 30 and 55, I know that this always applies. In my book, Homeschool Mama Self-Care book, I have an entire section devoted to PMS and perimenopause and postpartum for homeschool moms, because I know the struggle is real. Curiously, when you get to the perimenopausal phase, things are a little less, let's say, predictable. Can I hear an amen? If you're in that phase, you know what I know. But I've often said, both on podcast or in my book, that it's really valuable when we actually schedule those days into our calendar if we can. It brings us a whole lot more predictability and probably peace for the entire family. So that's just one of the things that I discuss in my book, Homeschool Mama Self-Care, Nurturing the Nurturer. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it over at christianbook.com, and also you can find it locally. But I wanted to share with you one section or one passage of the book, because this is probably the most common conversation point that I have with homeschool moms when we dig deeper into what's really going on in their lives. Typically, when they come to have a conversation with me, they will speak to me about conversation points around, routines and schedules and curriculum and how to get a child motivated, or, how to DeSchool, or how to homeschool, variety of things like that, how to make things work, understand why things aren't working. And at first glance, it appears that it's a homeschool thing, but almost always there's a whole lot more going on than just homeschooling. Sometimes it's relational challenges between her and her partner, or sometimes frustrations she has with a parent, her own parent, or a close friend, or someone in her homeschool community that's not very supportive, or somebody that's outside of the community that's not very supportive, or, so many possibilities. As I act as a coach and a counselor for homeschool moms, pretty much anything that anybody experiences in life, I have conversations around that. But the thing that I notice at the base, a common denominator for moms, is that we become so consumed with what's going on in our home. We get so absorbed with the energy of all the people in our home that we have a hard time separating and being our separate sense of self. So I wanted to share with you a passage from my book about that, about how we can actually create a stronger sense of separateness. But before I do, there's other goodies in this giveaway. I have a bar of homemade bar soap called YLang Sunset. This is local, so it's from Alberta, a province away. I've got one of our favorite tea bags, Stash Breakfast in Paris, and also David's tea. This one is a vanilla cappuccino. Every Wednesday night, I would go to Starbucks. This is not a plug for Starbucks. It just is my reality. Every Wednesday of most of my homeschool life, I went to Starbucks and I sat with my journal and a pen and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote all about my homeschool experience. It just helped me put things onto paper so I didn't have to keep it in my head. And it was really helpful for me. And I had a cappuccino with a pumpkin spice scone pretty much every Wednesday until November, when they stopped selling them. And then I switched to peppermint mocha. So I've also got a few bookmarks that'll be included. Foam cleanser for your face, a really pretty pink OPI Nail Lacquer. And, I'm going to put a few of these in there just because it's so cute. Party time napkins. But we don't want to forget the kids, because though I have a few fun things for you, I also have something that my family and I love. And so I don't know how old your kids are, but these are murder mysteries in a box. This is called Cold Case, Murder with Interest. I can't read backwards. My kids and I love this. So my kids are all grown up. So depending on how old your kids are, I am going to share that with you. I didn't expect to actually have as many games in our home as we do right now. At the end of my family journey, we have so many games. Probably should have taken out a few stocks or something related to games, or Hasbro or something, Milton Bradley, because we have so many games. So that's what I'm going to put in this giveaway. And if you would like to apply for this giveaway, all you have to do is tag 3 friends. Tell me what you've been learning over the last few months or years of your homeschool life, learning about yourself, learning about your kids, and learning about learning. Now, as I close, I want to share that passage with you from my book. It's all about you, becoming more you, homeschool mom. It seems evident on the exterior that we are separate from our family members. In practice, though, this is less obvious. We are separate from our kids, hard as this might seem in the all-consuming early homeschool days. We even have an identity outside the realm of a homeschool mom. So, I wrote this to you, but also to me in the garden in the fruit orchard with chickens pecking at my red toenails, because I learned that this is true for me and it's true for homeschool moms. Are you fully versed in your separate sense of self? Do you engage in activities that are distinctly you? There comes a time when we recognize that though we passionately appreciate and enjoy the homeschool mom role, we are also a person outside that role. You were a person apart from them before they existed. What did you do when you had a spare time on a weekend afternoon? Were you out late on a Saturday, or were you a Sunday afternoon brunch goer? I share a little bit about what I did. I'm going to skip over that part and move to the part that applies to you. Learning to maintain our sense of self while maintaining a relationship is a challenge. As a mama of young kids, there is a thin line between us and our kids. If young kids need us, we respond immediately. When we function as a homeschool mama long enough, small kids turn into big kids, because those big kids stay with us for years and they need us no matter their age. We are accustomed to responding to them with the same presence no matter their age. We're the nurturers, the teachers, the Uber mamas. We live right beside our kids in the next room or down the hall. Our kids' educational needs, their emotional needs, their interpersonal needs, their physical needs, their transportation needs, and financial needs are ever present. Seeing ourselves as separate from our role as our kids' mother as we attend to their accomplishments, their struggles, and their needs can be a challenge. Being different, you being you, practicing you, being a separate person, allows you to own your different opinions, your different interests, and your different values even as they grow up, despite your family members' differing opinions and interests or values. It also means we're learning to maintain an emotional connection with our family members despite those differences. Why all this discussion on self-differentiation or you becoming more you? Because it doesn't take long into our homeschool life to forget. We have an identity outside our kids. Our goal is to maintain a connection with our kids while also maintaining a separate sense of self. This is especially challenging when we are with our children most of the time. Has this happened to you? A child stands in front of you, frustrated, afraid, or anxious, and you don't understand why she feels what she's feeling. You know your feelings aren't hers, and you wouldn't respond the way she's responding to that specific scenario. Her uncomfortable feelings triggered different feelings in you, perhaps frustration or confusion. What are you going to do with your feelings? The more we know ourselves, the greater clarity we have about others too. When we recognize or understand ourselves, we more easily recognize the impact we have on others and how others impact us. We more easily accept others' complicated feelings when we can accept our own. And I give a few observations and practices on how you can actually become more you, how you can, as they say, self-differentiate. And in the very end, I share this. The goal is to be emotionally independent, to recognize our feelings and be able to share them when appropriate, to request what we need, and to honor those requests from those around us. And in the words of Maya Angelou, if you're always trying to be normal, if you're always trying to be what everybody else wants you to be, you will never know how amazing you can be. Those are just a few of the words from my book. And to whoever wins this gift, I'm going to find out what their address is. I'm going to send that within the first few days or possibly the midweek this week. I'll make sure to let you know, make an announcement who actually wins this Mother's Day gift. I didn't want to go without sending something special into the universe and say Happy Mother's Day to every single one of you. I see how much you do. I know how much you do. I know how much you carry, and I know how much you care. Happy Mother's Day.